Sounds good. All right. Hi, everybody. Joined a Google Meet, basically like a crash course type thing. Gonna be super simple, probably pretty quick. Just going over like basic functionalities, stuff like that. So, you guys have any like initial questions or anything so far before we get started? Nope. All right. All right. So I'm gonna share. Yeah, see that? Yes. All right. So there's a couple ways. Let's go over like really basic stuff. So if you're familiar with Zoom, I mean Google Meet's basically the same thing. Um, so bare bones joining stuff, very simple. I mean, you can go right to the main website, Google Meet. You can start a meeting here using this button, and I mean you can create one now, or you can schedule it in Google Calendar. I'll show the Google Calendar how you can add it right through Google Calendar itself. Or if you have a link or anything, you can just do it here. It's pretty simple. I mean, I'll do it real quick. So if you want to start one now, just basically do the same thing it would for like Zoom and stuff like that. And it's like the same thing, basically. Um, it's like, there's another way. So I know a lot of people use Google Calendar for about anything for like appointments and stuff like that. So if you wanted to, if you ever did it for like Zoom or anything, it's basically the same thing. So you would just create an event, add whatever you want to do, testing, date, time, all that stuff. We'll just do this. And then there's a button, basically, it does it for you. And then it'll have a URL here that you can share to whoever. And obviously you can add people and all that stuff. So it's basically the same thing as it would be for Zoom or anything like that, if you've ever used it. If not, pretty simple. So let me just this right here. You can just click the join button and it'll automatically pull it up. Kind of just the same thing we did before, just a little less clicking, quicker, more convenient. You can also join by phone. You don't have to be on a computer. You can join by mobile device. There are some features that you're not able to use. I think it's either polling, that may not be available on a mobile device, but I think that is. I know for whiteboards, if you ever use that, I think if you're on a mobile device and you use a whiteboard, it sends you like an extra link or something you have to open up. Other than that, I think everything's basically the same on a mobile device. So let's just pull up like a Google Meet here. All right, so some other features, simple like inviting and stuff like that. Basically the same thing as you would for anything else. If you're in a meeting, like this is basically just a little dummy meeting I made. There's a URL that you can send to people. You can just copy it and send it to whoever. Or like I said with the Google Calendar, if you already have all that stuff integrated and set up, it should be pretty simple for about anybody to just join. But if you ever needed like someone that maybe you forgot to add to your calendar invite, you can just get the link right in the meeting itself. Sorry, did someone say something?
I did need it.
Josh?
Sure.
Did I hear a question? No, I think someone's just mic's on. All right, what was it saying? All right, so joining, yeah. So yeah, if you have a code, you can either join through calendar or basically manually if you have a URL also. Some features that you have in Google Meet. So you can screen share, obviously. It's the same thing as Zoom, what I'm doing right now. It's the same thing here. You just go here and actually it's called presenting in Google Meet and not sharing. It's like the same thing. You can just click present. If you want to just do a window, it's the same thing. You pick whatever window you want and you share it. It's the same thing I'm doing right now. There are controls also, since I only have myself in this, if there's multiple people. It's the same thing as Zoom. You can mute people, pin them, remove them manually. It's usually only the moderator or admins if you set them up to be that can do stuff like that. There's also chat features, same as Zoom. Presenting that I mentioned. There's also an activities button. For some reason, I was trying to figure out this morning. It's usually up here in this top right corner that usually has like polling. There's like breakout rooms that you can do. I think Zoom has that same capability. There's like attendance tracking. I think there's a couple others, but for some reason I was looking it up like all morning trying to figure out why the button's not there. And I found like a Google forum in the past couple months. There's been people complaining about Google not fixing it. It's like hit or miss sometimes for some people, but it seems like Google either needs to fix it or I don't know what's going on with it. So I couldn't show any of that, unfortunately. So I was going to go over a lot of those features, but obviously can't do that if Google doesn't fix it. So, does anybody have any questions so far? No? There's also closed captioning features for accessibility down here that you can do. So if people are like muted or can't hear, they can read it though. That's a cool little feature. I don't think Zoom has that. It might. But yeah, it's a little cool little feature for people that may be deaf or anything like that. It's also cool to mention. Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's pretty, basically the same thing as Zoom. So that's really all I had. Any questions regarding like, any integration with anything or something like that? Any specific questions? Nope. Well, that's pretty much all I had. John, you still here?
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
That was quick and easy. Anyone have any questions? If you do, just unmute your mic. Okay. I'll stop the recording and thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.